Good morning, people in Australia. Good afternoon in Canada and the States. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. So today, I would like to lead meditation on Lojong of breathing, and also Lojong on food consumptions. So there are many different kinds of lojongs. There are actually 100 lojongs. Lojong is a mind training, thought training. This book here, you can't see the title, the old book worn out, all the writings here. And this book has 100 different lojongs. And Tibetan word we call Lojong Gyazama. Lojong Simba Chimbo Kunjo, Jansinji Chodi, Nangway, Simba Chimbo Kunjo, Jansinji Chodi, Zebe Lojong Gyazatan, Karcha, Dumsel Dawa, Je Yuso. So there was a great Tibetan Buddhist teacher. His name is Simba Chimbo, means Bodhisattva. Kunchok Yaltsin, that was his name. He composed this book, which has 100 different kinds of lojongs. So first, today, instead of going through the wheel of sharp weapon, I will go through later. I mean, not today, but I think this is appropriate right now, appropriate time after Christmas and before New Year. It is again kind of a moment that a lot of feelings, emotions flying around because ending of the year 2020, but the COVID pandemic is not ended, and still a long way to go. And then year 2021 beginning soon, and next week, and people are anxious, even though nothing suddenly dramatically going to change, but because we're accustomed to these kind of numbers, like end of the year means some people end of the world. Some people New Year means a new world, and there's a big sort of emotions and feelings about this moment, this time, this sort of we're in this transition state. Well, although life is always like this, we're always in transition between birth, death, old age, sickness, bardo, and rebirth, and so on and so forth. But this is how it is. So this moment, I would like to first lead Lojong, we call the in Tibetan word Ugla Tembe. Ugla Tembe, Lojong. Ug means breathing. So Lojong or breathing. Okay, I will read the text here. Niba Ugla Tembe Lojong. Sem jinji tondo sanji topacha. Ichod Ugla Tembe Lojong bom nyamdu samne. So first of all, one has to cultivate pure motivation. For the sake of all sentient beings, I would like to practice Lojong of breathing. Nangdu juvidusu. Semje namji dungara la member gom. So when you breathe in, this is what it says here. When you breathe in, you should imagine I would like to expose or experience suffering of other sentient beings. Upon myself, taking upon myself, I would like to experience suffering of other sentient beings. And Ukcher Juvi Tuzo Rangi Dewata Gewa Simjela Member Gom. When you breathe out, you imagine your virtues and Dharma practice and your merit sent to sentient beings, and also your happiness sent to other sentient beings. This is a wonderful practice. This is a bodhisattva practice. This is a bodhisattva action. This type of meditation is called exchanging the attitude of oneself with others. My attitude, exchanging my attitude, oneself with others. What it means, like most of the time, I am thinking about my benefit, my happiness, my life, my body, my mind, my family, my friends, and my life, and everything. It's all come from me, right? Mine. And I'm the most important. I am the center of the world. And it's all the attitude, it's all me, right? Then the others are secondary. Right? Or some people don't think so much, don't think much about others. Yeah, and so now exchange attitude oneself with others means instead of always thinking about me, myself, my benefit, my happiness, my health, this and that, and think about others. Instead of thinking about my happiness, my life, my joy, and think about happiness of others, joy of others, and suffering of others, and change the attitude. This is what it means, exchanging the attitude oneself with others. And first think about others, then think about me. And so it's a bit reversed or swapped the thinking. And exchanging the attitude oneself with others does not mean I think I am not me. I'm not I am you. You are not you. You me. You are me. That's not the way you interpret about this word exchanging the attitude of oneself with others. Tibetan word is dak yin nyam ye. Dak is self, yin is others. Nyam ye means change the attitude of oneself with others evenly and equally. Nyamba, nyam means even, equal. Nyam ye, dajin nyam ye, changju sim, the bodhicitta of exchanging the attitude of oneself with others. So it suggests that this is the most profound practice. And this technique is, of course, originally come from the Buddha himself, but it was become popular at the time of Shivala, Shantideva, and great Indian Buddhist master and teacher of bodhicitta, teacher of Lamrim. His name is Shivala. He is the one who composed a famous text called Bodhisattva Charya Avatara, Changchu Simbi Chobala Jugba, Changchu Simbi Chobala Jugba, Bodhisattva Charya Avatara, entering into the path and actions of great Bodhisattva. Okay, so this is the body meditation and bodhicitta. This meditation is also known as a Tonglen practice in Tibetan word. Tonglen. Tong means giving, Len is receiving, then giving, receiving, giving, receiving, going around in a good way, in a positive way, and a virtuous way. And this is wonderful practice. So now when you combine this with breath, it's called Lojong of breath. Uk la tembe Lojong. Teni par lo surod gum. So these two attitudes, going and coming, gum. Teni par lo surod gum. Sanje da janju sumba namji gewe zawa lo lu la ne semje la memba gom te sanje da yenju sumba na gewe zo lu la ne semje la gom te tari raya digdu da tar janju jo de semje la yidam je gom de nga yin je la u la tembe lewni ba ho so sanje da yenju sumba na gewe zo lu la ne semje la memba. So let's do this first, meditate on this. So we sit comfortably and relax your body, and then we generate bodhicitta, motivation, and Changchup Sem, and you say to yourself, I would like to do Lojong of breathing, I would like to do Tonglen practice, for the benefit of all sentient beings. And now we will do the actual meditation on the breathing, Lojong of the breathing. So you breathe, you breathe in first, and when you breathe in, imagine the suffering of sentient beings coming in to me with the breath, inhale, and just general. Or if you prefer or choose this particular time, someone is suffering, someone is sick, someone has got cancer, someone is maybe dying due to whatever the sickness is. This person is suffering a lot, going through a lot of pain. Then you imagine this person's suffering is coming into you. And as you breathe in, it comes towards your heart, and it reaches your heart, your mind, your ego, your self-cherishing. And Tibetan word is dangzin. It touches your dangzin, self-cherishing, your ego. Okay, and ego grasping mind, self-cherishing, this proud mind, proudness, this proud of yourself, and it basically reaches your heart coming in. And then imagine you are able to remove the suffering and pain of that person. And then when you breathe out, imagine your virtues, your good karma, your merit, your happiness, your good karma, your virtues, merit, your happiness, and your joy. And going out as you breathe out, going out with your breath. Okay, this time it doesn't say you have to visualize certain color. Usually this visualization color goes with some when we do Tonglen practice. This time in the Lojong text did not say visualizing color. Well, you don't always need to visualize color, because normally when we do prana meditation, there is no color involved. Prana doesn't have a particular color, right? Chi has no color, energy has no color, this kind of energy. So as you breathe out, and imagine your virtues, your merit, good karma, and your happiness and joy going out with the breath, and riding the breath. Your joy, your happiness, your good karma, virtue, riding the breath, exhale breath, going out and reaching the sentient beings. They receive joy, happiness, strength, energy, and also particularly this time, someone who is sick and suffering, or perhaps dying, and then receiving joy and happiness, strength, energy, and comfort received. Okay, we do this meditation now. There's one more meditation that goes with the Lojong of breathing. So this extra meditation is as we breathe out, and we should imagine I am sending all the blessings that I have received from all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yidam deities, Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma protectors, and so on. I have received so many blessings, and also I have received so many blessings from my spiritual teacher, my guru. Now I would like to share those blessings that I have received from my gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Dharmapalas, so on. I like to share. So that with that thought, with that mind, as you breathe out, imagine the blessing that you have received from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas now going up with your breath, and you're sending to sentient beings and all sentient beings, particularly sentient beings who need blessings at this very moment. Thank you. Next meditation is Lojong. Again, another kind of Lojong. This Lojong is what we call the Lojong of food. Okay, Tibetan word is Sela Tembe. The Lojong Sela Tembe. Se is food. So, so this some people or some of you might think this is interesting. Probably haven't heard before about lodging of food, and people talk about food, dietary, and diets, and vegetarianism, and veganism, and a lot of people are allergic to many things lately, gluten and this and that. So much going on, especially in the West. In the West, we have lots of choice, the land of choice. In other countries, other parts of the world, you don't have much choice. If you have something to eat, you feel most grateful. Doesn't matter what. There might be a reaction or some kind of allergy reaction, so on and so. You may not even notice because you're so hungry. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're eating, we're eating. We have to eat something, right? And if you are living in this Arctic Circle, way up northern Canada, Ellesmere Island, Baffin Island, and Yukon, somewhere as a native person, as a Inuit, and in the old days, they eat only seals and fish and nothing else to eat. Nowadays, they have different kinds of food, lots of sugar, and sadly, a sad thing. And they are vulnerable because they're eating food that is not a traditional diet. So anyway, we eat all kinds of food, and so the lodging of food is important. Why? Because we have to eat food. Without food, we can't live, right? And as a Dharma practitioners, we have to eat food too. And sometimes Dharma practitioners, spiritual practitioners, sometimes they are very picky, and sometimes they can be quite neurotic about what you're supposed to eat, what not to eat. Unlike a Buddhist monk and nun in Thailand and Burma and Sri Lanka, you walk on the street early morning with a begging bowl, arm, collecting arm. You eat whatever people give it to you. You don't make a choice. You don't do that. I was in Thailand. I was a Theravadan Buddhist monk for 18 months. And when you're in a big city like Bangkok, you get all kinds of food, good food, people offer you. But when you're in the countryside, way down in the forest, south where I lived, and Wat Son Mok, Ajahn Buddhadasa's temple, I walk out in the forest and in the village. We don't get much food. We only get a little bit of rice and some maybe bananas and anchovies. As a Tibetan person, never ate anchovies before, never even heard about anchovies. What is that? What was it? It was for what I got was a tiny, skinny fish without taste. So that's what I ate: rice and bananas and little fish. I ate like that for 3 months, and I never complained. And well, why complain? You're a monk, right? And who's going to pay you attention? Then that's your choice to become a monk. Anyway, so I'm very grateful to those people, and they have very little to offer for themselves. They're village people in the village, poor, and I am depriving in some ways. They are taking their food away. If I'm not a good practitioner, if I don't meditate or I don't do lojong of food. So the lojong of food is basically you change your attitude. Instead of I want to eat for myself, for my body, my health. Again, me, right? And this is what I should eat. This is I should not eat, and being sort of picky or so much choice and about me. And instead of always thinking about me, whatever I eat, whatever I get, whatever I buy, and whatever I eat, I share this food with others. When I say with others, I don't mean every time when I eat food, I have to have somebody with and eating together. I prefer a lot of times eating by myself alone. I'm not always interested in eating with somebody because I like to say prayers. I like to meditate while I'm eating and also just be quiet, chewing the food and digest better if you eat by yourself alone. If you're with somebody else always talking and eating and you don't even know what you swallowed through your throat into your stomach. So, but when I say sharing this food, now here in Lojong says, I will read the text here. Yangda yangda shi dombe danga lalindu chena yinda ge sonam je so zoba am shinjis teze jowar cheve chedo sela tembe Lojong jowa. So here it says, this is mainly talking, written by a monk, for the monks. Jindagis sonam so zoba. So in order to create merit, good karma for the benefactor who offer you food, you must do lojong of food. And yinjis tezin juwa chevish. Also, in order to digest the food physically and mentally. When benefactor is offering food to you, I have to digest physically and mentally, and I have to be qualified to digest that food. I have to qualify to digest that food karmically, okay? And otherwise, if I'm not qualified karmically to adjust or digest that food, then it could be harmful for myself, harmful for others, and particularly harmful for myself because I'm eating good food that is not not very for me, not really for me. I'm not just eating it properly. I'm taking away, kind of depriving others food or almost like robbing the food of others if I'm not qualified. So what is the qualification? The qualification is when you eat food that was offered to you, you humbly accept, not arrogant way, humbly accept and then pray for the benefactor and dedicate the merit. Then that way I could be qualified person who accept receiving the food and benefit for the benefactor and myself both ways. Benefit for the benefactor and benefit myself in both ways. And think about, especially I'm eating this food for the benefit of all sentient beings. So now this is a very unusual one, interesting thing here. It says, when you eat the food, as I said earlier, sharing with others, the food is going into your stomach, the nutrition is going into your body. So I'm not the only one. Inside my body, there are lots of bacteria, okay? And the Tibetan word, I think this might be the same thing, called sinbu. Sinbu is Bu is usually means bugs. Okay, sin is actually short word for cannibal spirits. So there is bacteria, 84,000 bacteria in one human body. My body, I'm one person, right? You are one person. Each of us has, believe it or not, we got, according to Lojong text, according to Dharma says, we got 84,000 bacteria in our body, or simbu. These bacteria is eating my food, eating my flesh. That is why I call simbu. Simbu is cannibal spirit. So anyone who eats human flesh, drink human blood, is called cannibal, right? So this is, in a way, these guys are also cannibals, in a way, hidden way. We don't even know that they're inside of us. And in one hand, they're not cannibals. They're not really grossly drinking our blood and eating our flesh. And they're actually helping us. And there are good bacteria and some bad bacteria. I think most bacteria is the good bacteria, right? Otherwise, we won't survive. Otherwise, I won't be here. I'm 73. I won't be here. I've been gone long time ago. Most of 84,000 bacteria in my body must be good ones. Okay. So now, I share this food. I drink this glass of water for myself and 84,000 bacteria. I drink this good coffee for myself and for 84,000 bacteria. Simple. And so you dedicate for these bacteria. And now I wonder myself, why are there so many of these 84,000 bacteria? Mind-boggling. Now, what are they doing? What's the purpose? I have no idea. I don't know. Don't even ask me. Okay, I can't give you an answer. And you have to ask the question to Buddha. And you can't ask that question to scientists. Scientists don't believe 84,000 bacteria in your body. They probably believe there are lots of bacteria, but who count all the 84,000? Who knows all 84,000? There are lots of 84,000. 84,000 delusions, 84,000 dharmas, lots of 84,000 in Buddhism. So here it says in Tibetan, I will read it if you trust me. Chebarji rangi lula simbu rik means type of bacteria. Jeti yidong 8,000. Jeti is 8,000. Yidong is 4,000, 84,000. Hang on a minute. Jeti. Yeah, it is 84. Tree is 10,000. 10,000 tree, 10,000 8 times 80,000, right? And 80,000, 84,000 yobe, and sanzingi gula. Then of sanzingi gula, maumban, chuji, doing them some. So every time when you eat food, imagine at this very moment, those 84,000 simbus are satisfied by my food. And in the future, they will be satisfied with the Dharma. I practice Dharma right now for them, and they're supporting my Dharma practice. They're supporting my life. And so they will get a share of good karma, Dharma karma. And I pray for them in the future. They have opportunity to practice Dharma. So, and well, now it brings more questions, like opening a can of worms when you talk about 84,000 bacteria. So the questions are the bacteria a sentient being or not? Now, I have a friend who is a professor at University of Idaho. He and I debate. One day he asked me, "Are the bacteria a sentient being or not?" I don't know. He said, "You hold a handful of dirt from the outside, in this handful of that bacteria has got tons of bacteria. Handful of dirt has got thousands of bacteria. So that makes kind of sense, right? So those bacteria must be good because the soil is very, very rich in Idaho. One of the best soil in the United States of America. High, very thick soil, blown away from east to the west for thousands of years ago. Unbelievable soil, rich soil, especially around a place called Moscow, Idaho. I used to go down that way and visit some friends and Dharma groups. Anyway, I haven't been there for a while, especially since the COVID time. The landscape is beautiful. America is beautiful. The land is so rich, so beautiful. And so now, what is the lojong of food? Okay, so here, this is the instruction. Whenever you eat food, before you eat food, before you drink water, you make offerings, right? We say offerings, and Christians say grace, right? Say grace, or we say offering, choba, and Tombalame, Sangirum, Jobalame, Tamchirum, Demalame, Gindirum, Jamne Kunchusum, Chobam. Precious is the Buddha, incomparable teacher. Precious is Dharma, the great path. Precious is Sangha, the community. We offer this food to the triple gem, object of refuge, for the benefit of all sentient beings. That's the prayer. That's the offering words. We offer this. You say, I offer this food to three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay. And then I remember my guru, one of my guru, Zasep Tulku Rinpoche, he used to say after that word, he said, I offer this food to the Simbu, those 1,000 Simbus who live in my body, those bacteria. I'm not exactly sure 100% right now the Tibetan word Simbu is the bacteria or not, but I don't know what else. It has to be, right? Bacteria, or it doesn't make sense if you say germs, 84,000 germs live in my body. Well, there are germs too, but there are also good germs and bad germs. And but I think it's bacteria. Anyway, Zasep Tulku Rinpoche says in his prayer, I offer this food to my gurus, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and my Yidam, Chakra Sampara, and then all the bacteria, Simbus in my body will enjoy, experience uncontaminated bliss, bliss without contamination. So then I listened to this, what he said. I said to myself, wow, it's amazing, so beautiful. Yeah, then when you do this kind of prayers, I feel good. And I feel like I'm eating this meal for all sentient beings. And I feel doing something good, not just eating. Eat like animals, right? We have saying in Tibetan word, he's eating like an animal. She's eating like an animal. Well, we have saying that he eats like a horse, right? All day long, eating. The horses, they're different. They've got different metabolism, different bodies. They have to chew and eat all the time. Also, the teeth. See, the beavers, Canadian animal beavers have to chew the wood all the time. Otherwise, teeth will grow. And certain animals, like mermaids, and they have to chew all the time. Otherwise, teeth will grow and locked, can't open them up. But that's probably not the only reason. But anyway, so this is the lojong of food, offering the food, sharing the food for all sentient beings. And then there is a visualization goes with this text here, with this lojong here. And Sanjetan, okay, so then again, you do the same lojong, eat the food, and then you breathe in and out. When you breathe out, you send your happiness and joy for all sentient beings. When you breathe in, bring the suffering, pain of all sentient beings. And also imagine I'm offering this food and with the spirits, sentient beings, and also I pray for sentient beings who are suffering, starving, and there are many people starving on earth right this moment. Millions and millions of people suffering, no food. We don't even know. I live in Canada. Many of you live in the United States, Australia, and rich prosperity country. Now we ate so much food before Christmas, during Christmas, after Christmas. Now, right now, we eating lots of food before the New Year. I ate lots of food. I feel my stomach, and I feel like I ate too much. And we have even though we are a social distancing pandemic, but where you are more or less alone. And sometimes people might eat even more because now you're alone, right? Don't know what else to do, just keep eating, right? So, but on many places on the world, so many people are starving right now. Very unfortunate. And I have a friend in Mongolia, lots of friends. I go to Mongolia every year since 2003. And this year I could not go because of COVID. Now, first time, my friends told me in Mongolia, in the streets of Ulaanbaatar, there are beggars because of pandemic. First time you see beggars in the street since Soviet Union collapsed, since the communism or socialism collapsed. Now it's capitalism. You have rich and poor. And before, during the socialist time, everybody's got enough to eat. Every kids go to school. And now people are begging in the streets because 100 companies closed and borders closed with China, border closed with Russia. Mongolia is a landlocked country. They're suffering. So I do want to request and our kind of appeal that we have a NGO here called Garden Relief Organization. We have a website, gardenrelief.org. You could go to gardenrelief.org and you can send donations there. And Garden Relief has been around last 30 years. I'm the spiritual director. I'm the founder of Garden Relief. We've been operating last 30 years. We help raise funds for 8 nunneries in Ladakh and Zanskar. We raise funds, nunneries in Dharamsala, Kulu, and so on and so forth. We help rebuild my monastery in Tibet. We built a healthcare center in Tibet. We set up eye camp, cataract surgeries in Tibet twice, myself once, and my sister, Deki Didila, organized another eye camp with the Seva Eye Society from the United States. And we've done a lot of work in Tibet, India, Nepal, Mongolia, and Ladakh, so on. So in Mongolia right now is very cold. And my friends told me daytime is minus 35 and nighttime is minus 40 below zero. You can't imagine. If you live in Australia, you never even heard of this thing. How do people survive? The cows are standing and frozen and unimaginable, cold. So I have an appeal. I'm requesting if you can send donations for Mongolia, food for single mothers and children and seniors. Recently we sent $2,000 to Mongolia. We got a letter for appreciation. We're going to send more money for food for Mongolian orphans and single mothers and so forth. So Talking about food, Lojong, I'm not talking about not deciding the dates, but we could take 8 Mahayana precepts in one day, one of these holy days. And so the rule is you get up early morning, say 6 o'clock or 6:30 before sunrise, then you take vow 8 Mahayana precepts. And then you eat only one meal, no breakfast, no dinner, and one lunch, and it has to be a vegetarian lunch. So if you do that, you could donate the money that you spend for the breakfast that day and money that you spend for the dinner that day. That money, $10, $15, you can donate for Mongolian Food Project for the orphans and single mothers. So please think about that. We will let you know what days we will do 8 Mahayana precepts. And if you never taken 8 Mahayana precepts, you have to take it from Lama or with the Lama. If you have done it yourself before, if you received 8 Mahayana precept lineage from the Guru, then you can take that 8 Mahayana precepts in front of the statue of Shakyamuni Buddha, in front of the altar. Okay, so that's good for now. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, most welcome. We got about 5 minutes. Questions?
Not yet. So I put the link in the chat room for Guide and Relief. So if anybody follows that link, then it'll take them to that website.
Yeah, thanks.
So Kennedy asks,
Who?
Kennedy?
Yeah.
You spoke of self-cherishing and that it is not good. How do we protect ourselves from giving too much?
So it's talking about self-cherishing is not good.
Yeah.
And then giving too much is not good.
Mm-hmm. So I think you need compassion, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, usually giving is not too much. Giving is good because giving is one of the 6 perfections, perfection of generosity, which is called dana paramita. So when you're talking about giving too much, actually, there is no giving too much or too little. Whatever you can give, it's good. But I think I know what you mean. The question is your motivation. And or actually, that's not the only thing. Depends on what you're giving and to whom. Those are things you need to consider. And for example, motivation is one thing, because if you're giving for sake of giving, or you're giving due to your own self-fulfillment and make you feel good and make you feel great. Yeah, I'm giving this. I feel so good because I'm giving. It makes me feel good all the time. It's like taking a shower. I feel so good. I go for a run. I feel so good. And whatever, right? And then that's not a pure motivation. So too much of giving in this way, it's not really dharma. giving. Although I'm not saying it's time wasting giving. It still benefits somehow, but it's not a perfect giving. And it's hard to make a perfect giving. Anyway, as a human, we are human beings. We always make mistakes. But the other thing is giving, who you're giving. You're giving, for example, too much junk, toys to the children, or sugar and candies, and so on and so on. All those inappropriate gifts for children, inappropriate gifts for even adults, and sake of giving. So, and this is something we need to think about, and also, what are you giving now? Lots of rubbish like plastic and synthetic and made stuff. It's got chemicals and now creating more rubbish to the earth, and more wrapping, more plastic bags to the earth, and goodbye, good environment, And now, is this good giving? Is this what you're giving to the Mother Earth? And you're giving this for sake of giving, or make somebody happy, smiling, and then you polluting the Mother Earth. So one has to think about all these things. Sometimes you say, I'm not giving anything this time because I'm not sure what I'm giving, how I'm giving, And I told the story about the Kadamba Geshe. He threw ashes on his altar, and knowing that his motivation is wrong. He was trying to please his benefactor who's visiting that afternoon. And because he made a beautiful altar, and then realized, oh, that was my ego, trying to please my benefactor. Then he threw the ash before the benefactor came, made a big mess. And so you have to always observe your motivations. And thank you for your question. That was a good question.
Good, thank you. Sering asks, during Lojong meditation, can you breathe in someone's anger and give them your peace?
Yes. Yes, you can. You breathe someone's anger and then imagine that anger is transformed into peace and transformed into light, transformed into love, and turn around, send it back to this person, and in the form of white light, or just send the energy.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Good. Cornelia, you had a last minute question this morning that we didn't ask. If you want to ask that again, please. So Amanda asks, what is a good way to celebrate the end of the year? Is there a Dharma practice which is most beneficial?
End of the year?
Yeah.
Meditation on loving kindness is, I think, one of the best practice. This morning I announced most Australian students are not here this morning because you're sleeping, 2 a.m. or something. So on New Year's Eve here, 8 o'clock our time here, we are going to do meditation on loving kindness. So that will be in Melbourne, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Melbourne time, Victoria time, Sydney time. You can join us. We are going to meditate on loving kindness at 8 o'clock, 1 hour. So although it's already New Year for you, which is even better, New Year's Day. So you can join us at 2 o'clock your time, 8 o'clock. We are going to meditate here on meditation on loving kindness. We also will have a little excitement. Maybe we'll have some firework and above the snow. Makes it beautiful.
Cornelia, you asked a question, then you retracted it. That's the one I was wondering about.
Okay, that's all right.
Okay.
We don't need to chase her.
No.
All right, good. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year. I wish you all the best. See you soon. Thank you.